or anything for these fighters to slip on?
These matches in general can get very slippery if there's a lot of the more matches, the more slippery it gets. So it's good that they're cleaning it in between matches.
Yeah, and you really hate to see a match determined by somebody slipping.
Yeah.
Who do you have for this match?
I'm going to go with Levi because they both have very similar games as they both like their guards, but Levi has a definite size advantage. Even though they're both just made weight, Levi's more in his natural weight division, whereas Caixinha usually fights feather, so there'll definitely be a strength advantage, I believe. But if I were to go off of experience, it'll definitely be Caixinha. So I'm honestly interested in this matchup.
The refs. The center ref for this match, Ali Geddes.
Expect both of them to double pull here, or Caixinha to look to steal too. He's known for going for that foot sweep if he knows the guy's going to pull.
Yep. Oh, and a little bit of slippage there. Let's see. Caixinha looks down. Maybe a little bit of telegraph on what's to come from Levi.
Yeah, Levi has to be a little bit careful. You have to get that grip before you hit the ground, or else they're not going to count it.
They lock hands and they just double guard pull. Levi stands up, and that should give him an advantage.
No, you see the ref didn't look at his watch because Caixinha pulled first. That was smart for Levi to get up, because if Caixinha would have got up, he would have lost too. He sat a little bit late there. He was looking for a collar grip, whereas Caixinha was looking for the finger lock.
Now we get to see a bit of Levi's passing, which is something that we have not really seen a ton of.
Yeah, especially not early in the match. I've seen a bit of his passing later on in the matches at Europeans versus people like Gianni, and even he was up top a little bit versus Lepre.
That's really interesting.
Very strong leg drag positions, very heavy on the top leg when he passes.
But this is definitely not Levi's A game. This is not his preferred game.
Yeah, definitely, and that may come back to hurt him in this match, where Caixinha is definitely where he wants to be, and he gets to control the pace because he's the more comfortable fighter right now.
So just that tiny bit of a misstep early on from the failed double guard pull attempt could cost him the entire match.
Yeah, that's always tricky in the double guard pull situation. There's one little bit of lateness, and you don't get to have that advantage, and you have to come up, or you're going to get scored on.
If you guys are just joining us at home, this is the 2019 SPYDER Invitational Championship qualifiers here in Seoul, Korea. I'm your host, John Evans. With me, Shane Taylor. And we have got Caixinha versus Levi.
Yeah, Levi looks a little bit uncomfortable here. You definitely know he wanted to be in his guard. He looks pretty uncomfortable passing, trying to figure out an entry. And someone like Caixinha, it's very hard to get comfortable moving on. Caixinha is very good at making it so you don't get to have grips on him first.
Levi, very quick movement. Good grip breaks as well.
Seems to be looking for a bit of a knee cut position. Caixinha going into the lasso grip where he actually won his last match from. Apply the armbar from this same grip. Let's see if he'll go to the cross collar and look to get there again.
That's right, finishing Lee with that Jeremy Horn-style front armbar off the failed omoplata. Very tricky stuff.
Very strong grip break from Levi.
And immediately moving towards the pass. Looks like he wants to force a leg drag.
He seems to be getting a little bit more comfortable here with his passing.
Yeah, interesting talking to Levi. He trains out at Unity in New York, and anyone that's been keeping up on the jiu-jitsu world, especially the lighter weight divisions, have seen the Miaos lately. Their passing has just gone through the roof.
There's a lot more pressure passing, a lot more confidence with their passing as of recently, and even a little bit more takedowns from both brothers.
And Levi credits this completely to the teachings of Murillo Santana, who's the head coach at Unity. And he said Murillo has a huge influence on everyone's game there.
Yeah, Murillo's known for his incredible pressure passing, even though he's mostly outsized in a lot of his divisions because of his body type. He has a lot of good pressure passing.
So it's hard to imagine that anyone that's been training at Unity for any more than a year or so wouldn't have at least improved their guard passing a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's what we're seeing here from Levi.
Yeah, he's started off a little bit uncomfortable. He's looking like he's getting into his groove here. Probably wasn't expecting to be up top, but in a tournament and a division like this, you have to be prepared to be in any position. So I think it just took him a couple minutes to adjust. And it's still tied with zeros across the board for both fighters with 2.5 minutes left.
Yep, Levi tucking that leg of Moizinho's in between his legs. His arm's still stuck in the lasso, though.
Yeah, but honestly, if I had to give the decision, I would give it to Levi right now, just because he did attack a guard pass twice. I haven't seen an actual attack from Kexinho yet, just good positioning. Hasn't off-balanced or anything yet.
Now, I've talked about this on stream before, but the old criteria, the old school, like maybe IBJJF criteria for who would win decision if this did go to decision, is if there's one player that was in the close guard, controlled within the close guard, for the majority of the time, then the guard player would win, historically. And if the passer was outside of the close guard and trying to pass, then the guard passer would win, whoever's on top. But in recent times, that hasn't always been the case.
Yeah, it comes down to a lot more factors, but in a match like this, it may end up being determined off of those more old school rules, saying that there hasn't been too much either side. I personally would give it to Levi at this point, but here you see Kexinho looking for a little bit of a hook sweep there on the leg with the lasso grip.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit dangerous. You can see Levi immediately backing up, realizing that maybe he was caught out a little bit. Moves back, see what his next attempt is going to be. Levi looks over at his corner. Wants to hear what Devontae Johnson has to say to him. Now starting to kill this lasso grip a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's got the elbow on the inside.
Kexinho's looking to go for a
double lasso.
Yeah, lasso on the lapel and a lasso on the sleeve. This may not look too good in the judge's eyes, though, because the double lasso grip is always known as more of a stalling position. So in a situation where you need to be scoring, it may not look too good in the judge's eyes, especially since the strongest attack so far has been Levi's 2 pass attempts, even though they weren't very close to passing.
Only about 10 seconds left to go in this match. 0-0 still. It's anyone's game. Everything's very tied up, gi-wise, grip-wise for Levi, so unable to make the movement that he wants to start to initiate the guard pass. There right at the end, a little bit of movement, but at the very last second.
Yeah, I would definitely be giving this decision to Levi if it was up to me, just because that last minute, Kexinho had a lot of opportunities to attack, and he chose to kind of sit with the double lasso grip, and that kind of stalled the action more so than pushed it. But we'll see what the judges think here. Very hard match to judge outside of things like that. Let's see what the refs think. And all 3 score for Kexinho.
본 경기는 심판 판정에 의한 오이징요 선수의 승리입니다.
The winner by judges' decision is Osvaldo Moizinho.
Interesting. I'm curious about that one.
Yeah, maybe they saw the grips more as controlling the match than anything. I personally thought it would be Levi, just because Kexinho he had one attack that whole time, but it was just a leg hook. Whereas Levi seemed to be trying to pass a couple times, even though he couldn't get close.
That's curious. I'm going to have to, and here's a little bit of a replay. Here's the double guard pull. And this is the mistake, I think, from Levi.
A little bit of passing.
But he came up, there was no points. And, you know, personally, I'm with you. I think Levi was more active.
Yeah, that was Kexinho's only really sweep attempt there. It wasn't too much.
Levi had a couple of pretty good guard pass attempts.
Yeah, you see how that double guard mess up in the beginning really affected the match later on.
Yeah, I will have to talk to, because I don't know the third ref